ikke? Azar! Welcome to Bratislava as Miloš Riha gets his team ready for game number 2. The Czech Republic and Norway will be the first teams to get 2 games in this 2019 IIHF World Hockey Championship. Both coming off 5-2 results. It was a win for the Czech Republic over Sweden, and it was a loss for Norway against Russia.
For the Czech Republic, Jake Voracek, their leadership group, can they ratchet it back up enough? Last night against Sweden was a fantastic game in a building that was brimming with energy and emotion and physicality. You have to have a level of emotional engagement to play well, no matter who you're playing against, no matter who you're playing for. And it takes energy to bring that emotion. When the Czechs play with it, they're one of the best teams in this tournament. They'll need a little bit of it to beat Norway tonight.
That seemed to be the message that was being talked about prior to the game. Simon Hrubitz will get the start in goal for the Czech Republic in this game. It will be Henrik Haukeland again in nets for Norway as these two teams get set to meet to close out day 2 of this championship. Last minute instructions from the referee, and this one is underway. Kolar gets this up at center, and Voracek will snap this into the Norway zone. Sent around the boards. Dominic Simone after it. It's cleared away from him, and Norway will carry it back. Kolas pass was in behind him, and Kolar will take it for the Czech Republic. And he'll just spin this back into his own end for Hronek.
Quick change, 25 seconds in, both groups. Wholesale changes. Get everyone into the game early, especially when you're going back-to-back.
Through the middle for Jakob Brana. Brana with the quick shot. And that goes off a stick, and some physicality early in this one as Jakob Brana gets tied up there with Bon Saxon.
Jakob Brana was a star of the first game. Skating well, challenging the goaltender with his shots, and when Saxon drops down for an old school hip check, Brana right up and over. Actually, the greater impact was maybe on the way back down, as when Saxon got a knee into the chest and head area of Brana. That's a great reaction. You go to the bench, you smile, and go, whoa, I'm into the game now.
Yep, let's get her on. Volkve Olsen plays this down the ice. Roselli Olsen giving chase, but it's cleared around the boards, and the Czech Republic will regroup. Out to center ice, no further. Now it is gobbled up. Kovac will play this in, swings it to open ice. Kubalik lets it come back to the blue line, and the blast from the left point by Moravchik goes wide. Taken in behind the net by Hauge. Hauge was the busy face-off man for Norway yesterday. He took 25 face-offs, or 15 face-offs. He won 10 of the 15 that he took.
Well, if you're going to win 2/3, you're going to end up taking a lot. Even though once the game was on, he wasn't the best defensively. But if you can win and get possession, then maybe you don't have to play defense quite as often.
Lead pass for Dmitry Yashkin gets called offside. Yashkin was involved a lot in that game yesterday play against Sweden.
Can't wait for him and Adam Larsson to play against each other in the NHL next time, because they were at each other the entire game.
Tomáš Zadorna wins it back, and Radko Gudas will send this in. Heinek Zohorna in the lineup tonight. He was added by the Czech Republic and is on this line with his brother Tomas, along with Yashkin. That's the line that is out there now. Jumping in from the line is Sklenicka. Jammed up in the corner. Zohorna for Yashkin. Yashkin tried to work it free, gets tied up a little bit by Johansson. Crowd wanting a penalty on that, none coming. Cleared up through center, and Trettins will send it in.
Maybe on the hook on the initial cut, but once he lost his balance, he kind of went down on his own, did Yashkin, so good no call. Listen, the Czechs got away with a very physical game against Sweden. Not nearly as many penalties as we expected to be called in a game like that.
Michael Frolik down for Voracek. Voracek to the front of the net. Deflected off the stick, chasing it to the near side. Christian Bull after Michael Frolik. Quick shot from the line, score! Frolik with the shot through traffic. Didn't look as though it was tipped. And the Czech Republic, like yesterday, the early 1-0 lead.
Frolik is known for his shot. And Jake Voracek draws down the winger in Christensen because he seals off his defenseman. And what does that hit on the way through? Does it catch a piece of Bolos on the way through? Looks like it changes direction, starts knuckling on its way down towards the net. Maybe Simon got it, but I'm not quite sure. And Hoagland a little bit frustrated that one got through him, but it seemed like it dipped at the last minute to get between the legs of Henrik Hoagland.
Well, they give it to Hronek now. Perhaps it was just running out of steam because it wasn't one of his bullets.
Maybe it was gravity taking place, but it's not that it dipped, it's that it started to wobble as well.
So 1-0 Czech Republic with the early lead, probably exactly what they needed. Jan Ruda takes his man down, and Jakub Brada takes it out to the blue line, no further. Now it does get out at center. Some room on that far side, and then it gets closed out quickly there as Hedel tried to take that into the Norway zone. Back up at center, Mathis Olam plays it in on the left side, and offside called at the line as Lassoon, the defenseman, had joined the rush.
Filip Hronek leans on this shot. It hits Holos' ankle. And it absolutely hits Jonas Holos' ankle on the way through. Great look at it there to clear it up, dropped it a little bit, and spun it back towards the 5-hole.
Nice camera work, Ben, as we get a good look at that, and it will be Hronek's goal, chopped up by Gudas, and this leaves the playing surface. Radko Gudas, another Czech Republic player who was very much involved last night.
And then you see Jonas Holos. There's nothing you can do about that one. You're working a box out, your man in front. You're tying up his stick. You got to be aware where the puck's coming from, but you're not anticipating a glancing blow deflection past your own goaltender.
Gudas for Sklenicka, got away from him. Balkve also will play it back in behind the Czech Republic net. Repik will take it on the far side. A Memorial Cup for Repik with Vancouver. Up for Kubalik, and Kubalik's wrister from the left side is grabbed and held by Hoagland. And again, a little more pushing and shoving at the side of the Norway net.
See, the last few games, a sense of pattern, which is not great for Norway because we're due for a 7-0 game if that pattern holds true to form.
Look at Robert Reichel in behind the bench, one of the assistant coaches for the Czech Republic.
A great international player for the Czech Republic. Better than his NHL career. When he put on that Czech sweater, he was a force.
Played back in the day when the Czech Republic was a dominant force in international hockey.
Yeah, he knocked us out in 2000 with the game-winning goal, a couple minutes left in the semifinals.
Chipped up the boards. Tomáš Zohorna couldn't clear it out, and it gets thrown to the front of the net. Trettins was there, got a piece of it, and that just went wide on that far side. Cleared back out at center. Zohorna's after it. Tomáš Zohorna got tied up. with Nesterbo, and the puck is grabbed off by Holos. Cleared in, and another offside called here against Norway, and we'll get another stoppage.
A good chance for Norway to come right back. It's Trenton's in front of the net, gets a piece of that one. He's got to fight through a check. Martinson puts it into him. And a couple sticks there. That might also have caught a piece of David Lucille. But very similar to the goal that was just scored. If you get to the front of the net, if you battle, tie up the defenseman, then you give yourself a chance to catch a break.
Finland and Slovakia in the game going over in Kosice tonight. Michael Frolik will drop it back for Voracek. Voracek gets it cross ice. And a shot by Simone didn't get through the traffic. Back up the ice. This gets sent in by Christensen. First on the puck is Martin Roymark. Roymark tried to spin that back up the boards. Jumping off the bench and getting into the play is Johansson. Gets it down for Christensen. Christensen forced to the backhand and being hounded there by the checking of Jan Ruda. Finally dishes it off. Mathis Olam tried to get it out to the front of the net. That gets broken up, and Moravik will play it to the corner for Jan Ruda. He'll send it ahead for Simone. Doesn't get to Simone, but it's taken there by Jake Voracek. For Moravik. Moravik to the line, no further. And Johannes Johansson will take over for Norway. Banks it back for Lassoon and back for Johansson. We near the 6-minute mark of period number 1. Sondre Olden forced to the backhand, chips it wide. Sklenichka takes it off the backboards and finds Brana. Brana finds Andre Palat. He finds Sklenichka. Sklenichka with Von Saxon. Von Saxon wraps him up. Hedel after it on the near side. The youngster from the Rangers plays it. Short side try by Brana. That one off the side of the net. Some of the fans back there saw the mesh bulge and thought it was in. Back in across for Hauga. It gets turned over. And now a one-on-one. Kubalik can skate. Kubalik and a great defensive play. A terrific recovery as that got knocked away.
Hauga, desperation time as he's falling.
Back into the slot, score! Philip Kronik has another one.
That one wasn't tipped. That's the Roenick one-timer that he is so well known for. And it wasn't even a perfect pass. If you watch this, little stop-up play, Kubalik finds a seam. It's too far in front of him. It's on his front foot, which is more difficult to control its trajectory and get the necessary velocity. But Roenick, that top hand so far away from his body allows you to leverage your stick further out in front of you. Look at that top hand, almost fully extended, a foot off his chest, able to sling it up and over the glove of Hockland. That is a shooter's shot. Not everyone can hit that puck when it's passed there as well as he just did.
So Norway plays from behind again after giving up a couple of first period goals to Russia in their opener yesterday. Philip Kronik has both. There's a shot save made. Yashkin unloaded on that one from the slot. There's some room in the high slot area, and the Czech Republic has found it a couple of times with some chances. Tretens plays this back down low, and Jan Ruda is back forward for the Czech Republic. Andreas Martinsen is in on the forecheck. And Ruda will skate it out. He'll drop it back for Sklenichka. No room for Sklenichka. And they'll regroup. Sklenichka misfired on his pass and brought right back in by Roymark. He'll get forced to the corner. Gets wrapped up there, and the puck up the left side boards and sent ahead by Michael Frolik for Radko Gudas. Gudas will send it in. Johansson first after it. He gets caught up on the mesh in behind the Norway net, and that'll bring about a stoppage in play and some physicality. We'll get to that after.
Penalty team Norway. Player number 15, 2 minutes for roughing.
Tommy Christensen got wrapped up with Radko Gudas, and Christensen gets the penalty for roughing, so it'll be a power play for the Czech Republic.
Not helping themselves out, Norway. Down 2 already. They want to get themselves into this game, taking a undisciplined penalty well away from the play and the puck. Not going to help your cause.
0 for 3 was the Czech Republic yesterday with the man advantage.
Is it too early to tee up Roenick for the third? Here it is.
Never too early. Roenick, quick shot. That missed on the blocker side. Off to a good start in this game as the young defenseman that belongs to the Red Wings. Chance to saw some action with the Red Wings last year. Slap shot by Radko Gudas, and that got turned away by the right pad of Houkland. First power play of the game, and it goes to the Czech Republic. Frolik for Voracek. Voracek slides that back to Roenick. Nice pass by Voracek.
Yeah, slipped it through the 5-hole, didn't he?
Simone for Frolik for Voracek. Voracek trying to get that to the net, blocked by Von Saxon. In for Frolik, got away from him. He'll hunt this puck down. Frolik plays it back for Radko Gudas, back for Roenick, down for Voracek. Voracek watched by Olsen, and the pass is intercepted and cleared down the ice. And Hrubitz, who's a little bit bored back there, was going to play that up. The shots are 7-0 right now in favor of the Czech Republic. Power play continues. Drop pass for Andre Palat. Palat tried to work it in. He got hooked a little bit on the play, but it's kept in. Moravec sends it down low, goes down low to get in the action. Hito down for Moravec. Back at the line, it comes for Jan Ruda. Scramble in front, and that made its way just past the far side. And this is picked up, and Christian Bull will send it down the ice.
It looks like Norway's willing to concede the point shot. Going to pack it in and not get outnumbered down by the front of the net. So the Czechs have to attack from up high.
Hito with some speed, puts on the brakes. Tries to leave it there for Yashkin. Yashkin gets away from the checking of Johansson. Power play is over. Palat gets it back from Yashkin. Back to 5-on-5. Jumping in was Sklenichka, but pass never got through, and then Andre Palat has to take his man down, or it would have been an odd man rush, so he takes Norstemo down, and a power play coming up now for Norway.
As the power play had just expired, Norstemo blocks this pass. Sklenichka to activate it down low. Palat falls, and if he doesn't get into the legs of Norstemo, then it'd be a clean 2-on-1 from the other blue line in. There you see that point shot. That's tipped on the way in by Yaskin, then rattles around Ravchik's feet before trickling wide. But that's the shot that Norway's given up.
Norway to the power play. Norway also 0 for 3 in the game against Russia. Holos, who scored late in that game, gets it back, sends it cross ice, score! Norway is on the board. Tobias Lindstrom. The one-timer from the offside power play goal, and it's a 1-goal game.
Lindstrom, their most prolific goal scorer. He is a trigger man. He plays in the Ovechkin spot. Right shot on the power play. Simple play here. And he just leans on that one-timer. Good pass into the bumper, out to the top, over to Holos. And I think Roenick gets a piece of that one as well with his stick. As this flickers up and over the pad, fools Rubik. Off Roenick's stick. That's on me, yeah. Well, when you score 2, we'll let you give you a pass.
Yeah, or well, you can look at it the other way. He now has 3 in the game.
He's got a hot stick.
Big goal for Norway. Gets them back into this game. Musil. Yashkin will take this in with Heineck Zahorna. Tomasz Zahorna gets taken to the backboards. Heineck trying to help out in behind the net. Heineck Zahorna comes up with it. Gets squeezed out. Hauge trying to come up with it there for Norway. Gets wrapped up with Jaskin. Lost his footing, and then he'll play it back into his own end, and Lasund will send this ahead for Volkve Olsen. He lets the quick shot go. That got blocked, never got through Musil. Then Musil roughed up Volkve Olsen a little bit. Then Simone will play it back for Radko Gudas. For Michael Frolik. Frolik to the red line and snaps this in. Dominic Simone after it, played it in behind the Norway net. Chipped out of harm's way by Espeland. And it ends up out at center ice, and Christian Forsberg will send it in. Moravchik and Forsberg bump. Moravchik breaks this up at center. Roymark trying to send it cross ice. Jan Ruda sends it ahead for Frolik. That got mixed up at the line a little bit. Voracek was offside, so Frolik will backtrack.
You wonder if that goal doesn't settle Norway down. Now there's just one. Wasn't a very good start for them, but they're into this game now.
Certainly got their fans back into it.
Maybe quieted down the Czech fans, as importantly for the moment.
Sondre Olden had that puck bounce in behind him and he couldn't corral it. Jacob Vrana drops it back for Hedel. Hedel back for Vrana. Vrana gets pinned to the sideboards. Down low to help out is Mathis Olin. And it's cleared out at center ice and chipped back into the Czech Republic zone. Patrick Thoresen goes in after it. Got away from him. Thoresen tracks it down. Plays it down low. Hronek trying to pin his man. Ends up in behind the net. Sondre Olden tried to pitch that out front looking for Mathis Olin. And it ends up in the open corner, and there will be some time here for Kovar, except he had trouble with it along the boards. Plays it back for Hronek. Hronek tried to bank that back for Kovar, and it came off the backboards at a bit of a strange angle, ended up at the side of the net. Czech Republic a couple of chances to clear it here and unable to do so. Andreas Martinsen floats it in from the near side wide. Jumping in from the line, Christian Bull. Back to the blue line. Shot and a save made by Hrubitz. Repik with a little redirect. Cross ice it goes for Kubalik. Kubalik tried to play that back for Repik. That got jammed away. Roselli Olsen carries in. He got spun around, bumped, and down he goes, and he is holding his left knee.
Martinsen having a talk with Gudas as he came across with the hits. Yeah, and Kovar involved.
That's Rosalie Olsen.
I think Gudas got him. Roselli Olsen walked the first defender, and then Gudas finished the check as the second guy came through.
Czech Republic in front 2-1. We'll look at it again when we come back.
Slovakia 1, Finland 0.
Penalty team Czech. Player number 3. 2 minutes for kneeing.
So Radko Gudas gets 2 minutes for kneeing, and Mats Roselli Olsen has left the game.
You watch Gudas coming through on the hits, and I don't know if his knee tracks out and slides into the left knee. Watch the left knee, Roselli Olsen. Oh my goodness, that's an unnatural bend and flex. Radko Gudas is a big, heavy guy. When he comes through, carries a lot of force. And Marceli Olsen putting some weight on it on his way back to the room. But that's a tough one. Yeah, Radko Gudas has been suspended an awful lot in his NHL career. He plays in that gray area. I gotta give him a pass on that one. I don't think that was intentional. I think that was just more incidental collision. It was knee against knee, but I don't think the intent was there to make it any more than that.
And again, the officials got together and came up with the 2 minutes for knee, and that is the call. Christensen, who has the power play goal for Norway, sends it back at the blue line. Holos near side for Mathis Holm. Holm stays on his forehand, plays it to the goal line, and then gets it back from Sondre Olden. Holas. There's the high tip. What a save. Rubens off Andreas Martinsen.
Top of his stick.
It was set up perfectly for that high tip.
Looked like Henrik to Daniel.
Power play for Norway. Sondre Olden parks in behind the net. Mathis Olden fires. Save made by Rubens as he fought that one off. Kept in by Holos. He'll get that back from Christensen. The shot right on. Rubens the save, and now, as we saw in the game last night, you do not hunt for loose pucks in front of the Czech Republic net. You are going to pay a price.
One referee had a penalty, and it really should be a cross-check on 79 Zohorna. He starts the whole thing. It's a normal puck pursuit skirmish, and then Zohorna comes in and buries Sondre right there. I mean, they gave Martinsen one as well, but we saw this every whistle.
2 minutes for roughing. We still play 5-4.
And here's the tip. Oh, he fights it off with a blocker. That's really well done by Rubens. And Mathis Olsen, he's a passer, but eventually lets us shoot it. Rubens fights that one off as well, creating the rebound in front.
After what we saw last night between the Czech Republic and Sweden, as physical and as chippy as that game was at times, you would have thought maybe right off the get-go in this one, back to what you said last night, take one guy.
Yeah, tighten it up by calling one guy early, stopping these skirmishes. They didn't there. Both guys got roughing penalties.
Hauga winds his way in, gets a bit of a hook. No call coming, and Jaskin is on it, and he'll clear it down the ice.
Norwegian bench is making sure the referees know that they thought that was a hook on the dash by Hauga.
Jaskin will make his way back to the Czech Republic bench. Power play continues. Thorson winds it in. Patrick Thorson, the son of Petter Thorson, the coach of the Norway team. Michael Frolik, one of the NHL's premier penalty killers, takes it in, scores! Michael Frolik, short-handed, gets his second goal of the championship, and it's 3-1.
You mentioned his defensive acumen. He does have a bit of an offensive flair, and this is just a terrible gap. As you watch Esplin just back up. He's below the hash marks. On a penalty, on a shorthanded rush, you've got to close that up. You've got to get to the blue line. And quick release through traffic. Hauklin picks it up late. You got to want to save there as well, but between the bad gap, the lack of will to step up and challenge Frolik until too late, and the nice little screen shot. And also the Czechs lead by 2 once again.
So it goes from what could have been and maybe should have been a 5-on-3.
That's a swing.
The non-call, and then Frolik comes down and gets the shorty. Radko Gudas now out of the penalty box. And the Czech Republic with a 3-1 lead here in the opening period.
You'd like a save there if you're Norway, though. You got to count on your goalie to stop that one. For all the breakdowns that occurred, and we can talk about the defense and the gap, and it's all true. Besides all that, you need that puck stopped.
You fall behind 2-0 early in a game, you need some saves. Frolik for Simone. Simone forced to the outside by Christian Bull. Frolik trying to get a stick on it, can't. And Norway back up the ice with Trettens. Trettens takes it wide, gets a step on Slanichka, and a sharp angle backhander, and Rubitz got down and got the chest in front of that one. Trettens and Slanichka go down in the corner. Not in a great rush to get up either.
I got you, you got me.
Jansen front backhander by Christensen, and that missed on the short side. Kept it at the blue line though by Christian Bull. He'll play it in behind the net. On it is Christensen. Played out of the corner by Lidstrom. As Christensen makes his way to the bench and they start the change. Sondre Olden around in front of the net for Thoresen. And he couldn't tuck that home. At the line, slap shot. Save is made as Erwin Lasund let that one go, and a little more nose-to-nose conversation. 3-1 here for the Czech Republic over in Kosice. It is 2-1. Finland now leading Slovakia. Capo Kako has another one. That is 3 for him in this tournament.
The scouts can watch him and Jack Hughes go head-to-head.
Yes, in front, a little redirect, and the save made. And we'll get a face-off as Andre Palat with a little redirect.
Michael Frolik. There's the hook that you're talking about, and it's a hook. It's into the hands. It's called all the time. They don't make that call, and in the ensuing rush on the penalty kill, Michael Frolik re-establishes the 2-goal margin for the Czech Republic with a shorthanded goal. You're right, what a swing that could be. We would have been talking about 30 seconds or so of 5-on-3 time.
Backdoor play, unable to get enough on it to tap that in the open side. There was some room there, though, for Repik. Kubalik at the line. Slap shot from Kolar. That got turned aside. More pressure here from the Czech Republic. Kubalik unloaded on a nice setup there from Kovac.
High slot again, Dennis, you called it. They are taking advantage, winning board battles, then pucks to the slot.
Thoresen brings it in. Slipped it on for Sondre Olden. Olden lost his footing and back for Hronek. Hronek had the first 2 goals of this game. Cleared out at center. Kubalik deflects it in, but they're going to call it offside, and they're going to call it an intentional offside. And they're going to bring it all the way back.
A little set play off a face-off as Repik drives to the far post. Kovar just throws it down there, knowing that his winger's headed that direction. Almost connects on the blind pass. That line has played together for a couple games now. That kind of chemistry. You talk on the bench, you create some ideas. You almost pulled one off.
Norway finished 2-5 in the round robin last year, as they picked up an early win over Germany and then beat Korea in the final game. And it was Korea that ended up getting relegated. Centered up front, Palat leaves it for Hedel, and Hedel shot it wide. Johansson plays it ahead for Andreas Martinsen. Martinsen bumped on the near side boards with Palat. Hedel in there as well. Puck around for Hauge, missed the check. And Hauge plays this up at center ice. To the line and no further for Andreas Martinsen, and then Martinson missed a flying elbow there from Michael Moravchuk. Yashkin is rid of the final minute. No room for Yashkin to carry that in, and back for David Musil. For Gudis and back for Musil. To the Norway line and no further, and Holos will take over, gets it for Norstabo. Norstabo plays it in, but he was on his own side of center. No one touches it, and an icing call.
Interesting period for Norway. Started slow, got themselves back into it, then gave up a short-handed goal to feel it slipping away again. The crowd, as you can hear, re-energized, singing and dancing, feeling good about their team, the Czech Republic.
Many of the Czech Republic fans were out on the streets early this morning. Some were at the opening game here in this building, and
they've been around for the better part of 8-9 hours getting prepped for this game.
We'll see if they have the energy to jump as they do when the game gets exciting.
My money's on them having it.
Oh, yeah. Jammed up in the corner to the left of Hrubitz. Hrubitz, by the way, plays in Trenic, where the World Junior Championship will be there along with Ostrava this coming year, as the Czech Republic will be the host country for that. And the first period will come to an end, and the Czech Republic getting the start that it wanted.
They did. They knew they had to apply the work. If the work was there, the results would follow. And pretty good period for the Czech Republic, out shooting Norway 12-9, outscoring them 3-1, and feeling comfortable after the first.
And Norway losing Mats Rosli Olsen with a knee injury. We'll see whether or not he comes back. One period done.
Hey guys, welcome to Bratislava. Thank you so much. Your support, I checked during the first period.
Enjoy Bratislava even more with the Bratislava card. It's the best way to explore the city. You can get free admission to selected museums and galleries, free guided walking tour, unlimited travel by public transport around the city and region, and other discounts up to 50%. Buy your own Bratislava card. More information on visitbratislava.com or tourist information centers.
Wspominać na tym cestu. Slaviteľný je šport, ktorý musí trvať. Oficiálne sponzorom majstrovstiev sveta IIHF v ľadovom hokeji 2019. A my do toho dáme srdce a energiu. Dokážeme to poriadne rozložiť. Nech sa tí najlepší stanú majstrami sveta. Šetrite energiu doma, nie na zápasoch. Inúči energetické poradenstvo.
Tie najlepšie zážitky z hry vám prináša Isostar, oficiálny športový nápoj IIHF majstrovstiev sveta v ľadovom hokeji.
těžký, když to udělají bang bang jako tady to, víš, tam by ten... Tam je to těžký, že ty musíš být do toho středovýho, když se trošku stáhneš, tak potom jako když vidíš, že to nebude dávat na to středový, tak se stáhneš trošku a máš potom lepší lane a trošku ho znervozit, protože vědět, že musíš vystřelit tak na short side, ale jako...
Norway down by a score of 3-1 as the second period is about to get going. Dominic Simone along on that line with Frolik and Jacob Voracek, very good. Henrik Hockland faced 12 shots in that opening period. 3 got by him. And Simon Rubitz, 1 got by him of the 9 that he faced.
Game was pretty physical, pretty emotional. You have to respect for the Norwegians to hang in there against the more physically inclined Czechs, and the Czechs were dialing it up 2 nights in a row, first against Sweden, now against Norway. That's how they have to play every single time. We heard their GM, Peter Nedved, talk before the game, and he said, you know, if we work, we should get the result.
Sondre Olden back out there. He led all players from Norway in ice time at 6 minutes and 21 seconds. No one into double digits as far as shifts for Norway. As far as the Czech Republic is concerned, not a surprise, there was a number of players that were into double digits as far as shifts were concerned. And leading the way was Philip Kronik at just under 7 minutes of ice time. Second period gets going here. Taken by Voracek as that line with Simone and Michael Frolik back out there. Frolik chips this off the boards. Voracek drops it for Simone. Down short side drive for Jake Voracek. And Hockland makes the save and hangs onto it.
Voracek's a rare winger that almost exclusively looks to pass. Shooting is almost a last option. Here he tries to catch a no-looker, rings it against the side of the net post area, but it's sealed off by Hockland. But even when he gets himself in the grade A scoring positions, he believes himself to be such a great passer, and he is, that he still looks to make that next better play instead of electing to shoot.
2 years ago, tied for the NHL lead in assists with Blake Wheeler. Played up through center, and this one it gets bounced into the Norway zone. Hockland watches it bounce wide. Hauga, we've got an injured player.
I think Hedl, maybe the wind knocked out of him there, but Saxon got him as well.
Philip Hedl, slow to get up. Back in front of the net scramble. Hedl makes his way over to the Czech Republic bench. Von Saxon, certainly one of the more physical Norway players. Kovac will play this down low. Jakob Branham plays it back at the line. Radko Gudas unloaded. Save made. The rebound cleared, hit the linesman. And Sklenichka will play it back for Radko Gudas. Gudas up the ice. Kubalik had his stick lifted. It ends up in the Norway zone, though. Back for Gudas. Gudas trying to find Kubalik. Sklenichka jumps in from the left point. Norway trying to gain control. Von Saxon again. Very physical.
getting away with some lumber work.
As he knocks Kovac down in behind the net. Gudis. Repik trying to catch up to that bouncing puck. It's taken by Norstabo. Back in across the line. Reichenberg fed that through. Grabbed off in the corner, and Christensen's looking for
too
some
many
room,
men
but
coming up on Norway. There's
behind the play.
the linesman's holding the sixth guy on the ice. It's Roymar. He's not letting him off. There you see the hit. Bit of a cold shoulder reverse hit. Quite a point of discussion in the NHL as of late on Saxon. I think he just gets Needle right in the chest. And it happens on occasion where then you cannot breathe in, you can only breathe out. And he slumps to the bench, but it looks like he's okay. Staying on the bench, looks like he's gonna be fine to continue to play.
Team Norway, minor penalty for too many men on the
There you
ice.
see the six guys, and that's not hard to find. They're in the middle of the ice surface. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The miscommunication on the change cost them.
Well, Alexander Reichenberg, who doesn't get much ice time, but now with the injury to Mats Roselli-Olsen, maybe a bit of a miscommunication as to who is going out on that shift. So Norway will go back to the power play.
There are moments,
or rather, Czech Republic goes back to the power play,
where you may not take your normal guy because you want to be the left winger on the far side. You want to jump early to get the left winger that's still out there a chance to switch and get closer to the bench side. The things that normal lines that play together all the time just sort of figure out together. When you're put in like Reichenberg might have been, and he's serving the penalty right now.
they had Sondre Olden in there, and the officials came over and said he had to leave, and Reichenberg does come in. Voracek will play this back into his own zone. 2 of the game for Filip Hronek. This is the 3rd power play of the night for the Czech Republic, still looking for a power play goal. Voracek down for Michael Frolik. Frolik back for Voracek. Voracek walks it in. Now he'll fire off the post.
That's why he should shoot more. He's got a great shot.
There was some room up top, and he finds iron. Simone settles it down, watched by Roymar. Plays it for Voracek, got away from him. He'll track it down. Voracek, tip play, score! Michael Frolik has a shorty and a power play goal in this game, has 3 in the championship, and it's 4-1.
What a good look from Jake Voracek. He's like a conductor out here, putting everywhere he wants. Frolik seals off Johansson, pins his stick behind his legs, and Voracek sees that. Frolik's battling, backing in, making sure that stick is free. That's a simple tip, but the work is done in getting Johansson's stick here. You get a great look at it here. Not letting Johansson get his hands out from behind his body to get back around to the front of the puck, the net where the puck's gonna end up. Keeping his stick free the whole time, and Voracek puts it right on the spot for a simple tip. Frolik and Voracek connecting beautifully.
So a 4-1 lead. Heinek Zohorna will deflect this into the Norway zone. Sondre Olden to the line, no further. Polos chases this back into his own zone, turned it over. And Tomas Zohorna tried to get that out front. Heinek Zohorna and Jaskin were both there, but the pass got blocked.
Jake Voracek wearing the seat. Now he sold the first one off the shot at the crossbar, so that demands respect. So that pulls the defenseman a little further out in a different lane. Now it's a shot blocking lane, not a pass blocking lane. And look at that gap underneath the stick to slide it through Christian Bull, and the good work by Michael Frolik, who they did call Baby Yager back in the day when he came over to play the Quebec League. Used that Yager-like backside to seal off his man.
793 NHL games of experience for Michael Frolik. There's Bon Saxon again, and the officials looking over. Meanwhile, we had another battle in front of the net as Kubalik got all tied up with Espelin. Reichenberg chases that on the far side, but it's deflected away, and Kovac swings it. Espelin had it get away from him, and an in-tight backhander that went wide. They are jumping. The question has been answered. Kovac, right on, save made, Haugland. It is all Czech Republic right now. Maybe a little bit of frustration on the part of Norway as they do get a little more physical here.
I thought Edel might take a run there on Saxton. He had him in an awkward spot, and he could have finished him in a bit of a dirty way, but he elected to play smartly.
Bit of a chop from Reichenberg on the far side. Back in across the line for Brana. Jakob Brana had to get away from him, and this will get flipped out by Lidstrom. Lidstrom is after it at center, couldn't gain it to do anything with it. Norstabo will play it cross ice, and Lidstrom will deflect it in, and Norway starts another line change. Crowd is into it now. 4-1 lead, Czech Republic. Norstabo. Nice pass up the middle for Hauge. Hauge to the line, dishes it off. Trenton's heads to the near side. Volkve Olsen tried to get it to him. Volkve Olsen in on the forecheck, but nice little delay by Radko Gudas.
Like Bobby Orr with the spinoramas in the corner.
Norstabo back for Trenton's, and he'll deflect it in. Gudas is after it. Gudas gets a bit of a bump there on the backside into the backboards by Christensen. Those two have had something going for the better part of this game. Cleared in, and Krubitz will hang on to it. And a face-off in the Czech Republic zone. 4-1, Czech Republic with the lead.
A máme tu další písně tento raz s legendárem českého filmu a světou musíte lidi lajku.
The only blemish in the round robin last year for the Czech Republic came in game 2 when Czech Republic lost to Sweden 3-2. Sweden, of course, went on to win the gold medal. Other than that, they rattle off victory after that, and trying to make sure that doesn't happen in game 2 of this year's championship.
They got through Sweden in game 1. It's a tall task. The other favorite in this pool, of course, Russia, and they're incredibly stacked lineup, but the Czechs are showing, as if there was any doubt, with the kind of support they're getting, this is effectively a home ice advantage for the Czech Republic.
Well, when you look at Pittsburgh's record and Calgary's record, and you would have said to the Czech Republic, you will have both Michael Frolik and Dominic Simone here for the World Championship. I'm not sure that they would have been buying what you were selling.
No, they would have thought that unlikely.
Zohorna carries in, plays this back at the left point. Moravchik trying to drive that through, it got stopped. Zohorna, Heineck Zohorna sends that to the net. Gaskin was there. He got blocked out, and this will get chipped up and sent all the way back down the ice, and this will be an icing play as Holos sends it back into the Czech Republic zone.
It's like the Zohorna brothers understand that the big man in Gaskin just posts up in front of the net, and they're going to try to sift pucks down there. Look at Petter Thoresen, the head coach for Norway. Worth noting that Mats Vassili Olsen has not returned to the game. He left after a knee-on-knee collision with Radko Gudas, which was not as dirty as maybe that sounds. It was worth a 2-minute minor, but not much more. But it looked like pretty significant knee bend for Wesley Olsen. He's not returned.
Some veteran players for Norway that are no longer with the national team. Anders Bastiansen, 87 career games played in the World Championship. And of course, Morten Ask, 73 games played. Not on this roster. You wonder how much longer Patrick Thoresen will play.
He knows the coach, though, so he'd probably get a good look.
Correct. Pass up the middle. Lassoon trying to get that out of his own zone. Andreas Martinsen back into his own end for Lassoon. Up the left side, Lidstrom will deflect this. The Czech Republic turning it right back up the ice. Grabbed off on the far side, Zohorna. Heinik Zohorna trying to get it back to the blue line. Sklenichka jumps on it, sends it around the boards. Tomas Zohorna waits for it. Gaskin out there with the brothers. Gaskin trying to get away from Espelin. Plays it to the blue line. Sklenichka for Radko Gudas. His shot got blocked and cleared off the boards and out at center. And Reichenberg will give chase. Cleared away from him though. And Zohorna's on it again. Gudas. Nice lead pass and taken in by Askin. Dmitry Askin feathers that one through. It missed Brana almost on that backside. Got free to Moravec. This will get sent in. Moravcik after the loose puck in his own zone. He'll leave it for Gudas. On for Brana, nothing doing there. And Moravcik will send us back into the Norway zone. Cleared down the ice, and this goes wide of the net, and it will be an icing call against Norway.
Talking to some representatives of the Philadelphia Flyers organization on the way over, and they were raving on about Radko Gudas and how much he is beloved in the organization by the management, by the coaches, by the players. He's a real stabilizing guy, playing in the right role. He's an asset to your team. And he's kind of found a home in Philly, really settled in, and might be there for the long haul.
Tampa Bay pick in 2010. Some time in Everett of the Western Hockey League, and just finished his 4th year in Philadelphia. Look at Andre Palat, Jakub Brana.
The chippiness has subsided a little bit here in the second period. And it should as the game stretches out. If the Czech Republic continue to lead and build on their lead, generally that tends to have it settle down.
We can, with those two players we mentioned, we can continue on that theme of, I'm not sure they expected Andre Palat to be available either. Czech Republic in on the attack. Hedl sends it back at the line. Wrist shot save made as Brana let that one fly.
When you trust that the two forwards that are down below the goal lines working on the puck will win those battles, and they don't need that tight support, well, then you can stretch it out. Then you can find slot shots. You can get to the blue line. You can work interchanges with your defensemen, because the forwards who have the puck on the stick are so strong, they don't need that tight support to maintain possession.
Big David Musil back to the bench after it was his shot that got through from that left point. Of course, the son of František Musil. Frolik, 3 points in the game, including a couple of goals. Philip Kronik, a couple of goals in this game as well. And a 4-1 Czech Republic lead. Voracek plays it back at the line. Played down low, sharp angle ripper there.
Kronik, he will shoot anything from anywhere. You can see why when you see that kind of release. That's a tough angle to hit the net with, and you got a lot on it.
Kolar trying to break this up at the line, gets a little bit of help. And right back up the ice. And Frolik will chip this in, and then he'll head to the bench on the line change. Jan Ruda plays this in behind the Norway net. Thorson waits for it. Thorson, nice little chip pass up through center ice. Mathis Olam plays it on for Sondre Olden. Olden takes it wide, lost control of it, and back up the ice for Jan Ruda. Rink wide it goes, and a slapper by Moravchik, and that got turned aside. Back up the ice, out through center ice. As Christian Bull feathers that one in. Repik back in, that gets stopped by Espeland. Espeland plays it back for Bull. Bull gets pressured from the backside. Kubalik, and he tried to get that down to Kovic. Slapped off the sideboards and back. Kubalik may have taken a high stick as he makes his way back to the bench. In the slot area, trying to get that shot through as Kovac couldn't. Down at goals, Jaskin. Jaskin getting watched closely by Christian Bull. Jaskin trying to work it free. Comes up with it.
He's out of gas now, though.
Line of Jaskin and the Tuza Hornas have seen a lot of ice time here in the second period. Shot there by Tomas Zohorna, and then Tomas Zohorna finishes off the check on Christian Bull.
Well, Heineck Zohorna was just added for this game. He was on the roster in the exhibition games, but not added to the active roster until tonight. I'm sure the Czechs are probably waiting on some word from some other players, but he's been good in this game, playing with his brother.
Cleared through, carried in, and to the side of the net it comes, and we'll get a stoppage in play. 7:57 left to go here in the second period. Talked about all the Czech Republic players that are here, and there's still a number of very good players that are not here. David Pastrnak, the next game here for the Czech Republic will be against Russia on Monday, and it was Pastrnak last year who had the overtime winner as the Czech Republic beat Russia by a score of 4-3. Chance for the short side, that goes wide as Andreas Martinsen let that one fly.
It was Krejci and Pastrnak who basically walked off the plane into that game and had a massive presence. Of course, the overtime winner by Pastrnak.
And those are two of the top 3 point getters this year from the Czech Republic in the NHL. The other one is Tomáš Hertl with the San Jose Sharks, and he's still heavily involved. (4-1) Czech Republic. Jan Ruda sends this ahead. Hedl plays it on for Vrana. No room for Vrana. He'll send it back into his own zone. They'll regroup. Moravchik will send this up at center. It's cleared back in, and now Hedl will deflect this into the Norway zone. Von Saxon back for it. Von Saxon knifes a backhander into the Czech Republic zone, and Radko Gudas is there. On for Simone and on for Voracek. Voracek, he'll leave it at the line. Gudas ripped it. And a good save made with the glove by Henrik Hockland.
A chance for Norway here as Martinsen gets the angle on Roenick, and he beats Hudek up high, but on the outside of the bar. Keep your head up, slide on by David Musil. Join the rush. can't believe it. Andreas Martinsen, 24 games in Chicago this year.
Bronick sends it back down low. Rippick scores! Michael Rippick with the one-timer from the high slot. And this has now become a 5-1 game.
We saw this line try to work a backdoor play off a set play on a one draw in the offensive zone. This is another set play off a one draw in the offensive zone. It's a kick back to the point, a roll underneath by Kubalik from the inside, and then Rippick, who starts on the wall, slides out to the high slot. Boy, does he ever grab this one again. Bounces off Stefan Esplin's leg and over top of the pad of Henrik Hockland. But I love a line that is in sync enough to have multiple offensive sequences off one draws in the offensive zone. It's one of the rare times where the game is static enough that you can run a play. And we're seeing more and more teams in NHL have certain sequences that they run to, and that one worked, one earlier almost worked.
This Czech Republic squad is a good team.
Yeah, if you thought they were going to be a easy third in behind Russia and Sweden, they're not.
Yashkin and Zahorn is back out there, slap shot by Moravchik, and that is grabbed and held. Under 6 to go here in the second period. It's 5-1.
Czech Republic up 5-1 now. They have stretched out this game. Shots have gotten away from Norway 27-11. They have really dominated the second period with their puck possession play. Norway just hasn't had an answer to get the puck out of their own end. It is battle along the wall, taking pucks to the net, is tracking down secondary opportunities. And then once the Norwegians get a little bit tired, high slot plays, and some fortunate bounces in on Henrik Hockland. And just like that, it's 5-1.
They have suffocated Norway's offensive attempt getting out of its own zone. Kovacs trying to get a stick on it, cleared up at center. Andreas Martinsen drops it off. Reichenberger trying to get that to the net, take it away, and Kovacs will look for a little bit of room along the far side boards. Couldn't find a whole lot of it. Some physicality now in behind the net. Radko Gudas has lost his bucket, and he has to go straight to the bench.
He was going to pick it up, but saw that the chin strap was undone. It would be too hard to pick it up and do up the chin strap, so he had to let it go.
International rules. Kovacs stopped there by Johansson. And it's back to the Czech Republic line, sent off the boards out at center. Rippick will play it back to the Norway line, and Lasund will start back in. Sends the backhander in deep.
Rippick, the most recent Czech goal scorer. He knows this building well. He plays for Bratislava during the regular season, so he's potted some in this building before. Knows the dressing room, knows the way around town.
Polos for Hauge. Hauge shot up high, and that is grabbed and held by Rubitz.
Norway had a tough start to this tournament. They are Russia, night one, go back-to-back against the Czech Republic, and the Czechs came to play again, being led by Michael Frolik and Filip Bronick with 3 points apiece. In a game they now lead 5-1.
They've got Sweden and then Switzerland.
Yeah, murderer's row to start this game. And then they end up with Austria and Italy at the end.
And then Latvia.
Which are the three that they will contend with to maybe not make the quarterfinals, but to make sure they're in this tournament next year.
And Latvia was impressive in its victory earlier today.
That is a running the gauntlet out of the gate. You can't let the results like this get you down, knowing that your competition is really doesn't start until next week.
And no Mats Roselli Olsen here for Norway, injured in the opening period, and it did not look good. Mathis Olom trying to play that through for Sondre Olden, intercepted, and the Czech Republic with Dominic Simone. On for Michael Frolik, throws it to the short side. Simone gets bumped in behind the net, and Mathis Olom is on the puck. Tried to get that for Holos. Holos has to stop to retrieve it. Von Saxon, and there's a penalty coming up, and it is going to go to the Czech Republic. As Von Saxon ran a little pick in front of the Norway bench and then took a shot from Michael Moravcik. And Moravcik will go to the penalty box.
Penalty team Czech, player number 11, 2 minutes for roughing.
Moravcik will pick up the rough bone. Saxon has been a thorn in the sides of all the Czech players tonight. Norway will go back to the power play. They scored their lone goal there, and Lindstrom's one-timer. Perhaps they can get a little more confidence. Striking again.
Referees, by the way, Mikko Kukukari from Finland, Gordon Shukis from Germany, and the linesmen are Jeppe Liedmakers from the Netherlands and Dmitry Shishlo from Russia. So a power play here for Norway. This gets cleared out through center ice, and Norway back in on the chase. And
they've already missed one potential 5-on-3 hook that hurt Norway.
Heineck Zahorna may have got away with one there.
And it was the shorthanded goal by Michael Frolik to make it 3-1 that really hurt Norway late in the first.
Volkve Olsen drops this back for Hauge, stopped at the line. And this gets flipped back down the ice by Jaskin. Dmitry Jaskin has been very good in the 2 games here for the Czech Republic.
He was last year as well when he played. And you watch him play with St. Louis previously in his career. And maybe not Washington where it makes sense, it's a bit lower in the lineup, but he just can't find a home.
Good hit there by Radko Gudas as he knocked Lidstrom down. Kovac will play it back into his own zone, and Sklenichka will send it down the ice.
Jaskin has good possession numbers, shot shares, and chances in the NHL. You think on the 3rd or 4th line basis, that'd be a good fit for a lot of teams.
Mathis Olom carries in, shot, and save made by Rubitz. Sondre Olden, Andreas Martinsen again.
That Jan Kovac, number 43 for the Czech Republic. If he's on the ice and there's a whistle, he's coming in with a shot. A little cross-check, little push, little shove to antagonize Norway. Just 34 seconds left. We haven't said this guy's name nearly enough. When Norway plays well, Mathis Olden is generally one of their best players. Had his time and space taken away tonight.
Lindstrom out to take the face-off for Norway, wins it. Holos for Mathis Olom. Near side, Lindstrom, slap shot, save made. Replay of the power play goal that Norway scored earlier in this game. Except this one got stopped by the right pad of Rubitz. Lidstrom on it again, a tip in front, sharp angle try for Sondre Olden, and he chipped it wide. Mathis Olom wrapped up in the corner, and this will get cleared all the way down the ice, and the power play is over. Out to center, no further. Lidstrom plays it back into the Norway zone. Long lead pass taken by Roymark. Roymark puts on the brakes in the corner. Being watched there by Hronik. Hedel is after it. He'll throw it back for Hronik. Hronik near side, Andre Palat. Palat will carry it in. Hedel after it in behind the net. Hedel gets tied up. Hedel goes down to the ice in behind the net, along with Christian Forsberg. Bump in the corner there, the puck taken by Norstabo. For Forsberg. Forsberg will put this off his skate and in. And into the final minute now of the second period. Long lead pass, forward check on it. He'll throw it cross ice, to center and in. And turned around by Hauga. And he'll flip this back and back forward Jan Ruda. Ruda plays it up the boards, forward check, waits for it. Sends it cross ice for Michael Frolik. Frolik watched there by Trentons. They jam it up in front of the Czech Republic bench. And it does make its way out to neutral ice. Voracek will play it back for Jan Ruda. Ruda off the glass and puts it back into the Norway zone. Lassoon goes cross ice and the long lead pass from Christian Bull misses everyone. And with 6.9 to go here in the second, we're going to face off as look at Jaromir Jagr.
Still playing this year for Kladno. Probably can still play in this tournament if you really want to. One of the all-time greatest players internationally at the NHL level of all time. And beloved in the Czech Republic by the fans and the players alike.
One of those players, you look at his NHL numbers and you say, what if he would have played his entire career in the NHL for two reasons. One, he chose to leave for a while. And secondly, the labor stoppages that he saw during his career.
Another 300-400 games he could have had under his belt, which in his case would be another 400 or 500 points. And where does that put him in the all-time? He's already in the top 10 all-time greatest offensive players.
And this gets cleared down the ice, and we get another stoppage, and we have a little chit-chat going on in behind the plate. Hronik nose to nose with Erland Lassoon.
It's amazing that players from different countries who speak different languages somehow find a way to communicate just fine when it comes to those kind of disputes.
Are you saying there are some words that are universal?
Apparently. International language of hockey is known by all.
Correct. And the second period will come to an end. It was a good second period for the Czech Republic as they add 3. They had a 5-1 or a 2-1 lead after 1. And it's been a very good night for Michael Frolik and company. 5-1 after 2 periods.
Frolik, Voracek, the big guys have been really good. Czechs are kind of having their way with Norway now. 29-15, almost outshooting them 2-1. The Czechs showing that last night against Sweden was not an aberration. They are a team to beat in this tournament.
So what we are seeing here with the Czech Republic, they'll have tomorrow off. Monday they play Russia. It's 5-1 Czech Republic.
Tak pojďme mi dát do druhého hoši, vole.
Look at Mathis Olum quickly there for the Norway squad, and Henrik Holm, the right-handed catching netminder, will come in now and take over for Norway. And Simon Rubitz has not been overly busy. He's stopped 14 of 15 that he has faced in this game, and it's been a busy couple of nights for Henrik Hockland, who now gets a breather here in the third period for Norway.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, he's battled hard. He's had some tough breaks. Maybe a couple of goals he won back as well. But get him out of the game, get Henrik Holm some experience, get him some game action. So if you want to go to him next game, if you want to have an option, he's had some real live action.
Off day for Norway tomorrow, and then they will get back at it on Monday against Sweden. 5-1 in favor of the Czech Republic as the third period gets going. Lassun gets taken to the corner boards. Olum is after it. And Mathis Olum comes up with it. Little tight turn and makes a nice play to get out of his own zone. Here comes Holos. He joins the attack. Holos trying to get that to the net. Sondre Olden was there, but the pass got blocked. Now a battle ensues in behind the Czech Republic net. Norway up with it with Olum on his forehand, taking a look, throws it, score! Great play by Olum, throws it to the front of the net, and Sondre Olden with the deflection, and it's 5-2.
Some nifty skating going on by Olum. As you see him open it up, that 10-2, and both heels together, and wheeling around the top of the line. Eventually slings this one in, and nice job by Olden getting loose with a stick. But just the skate all on the edge work, on the inside edges. Daring Voracek to challenge him, he doesn't. And good stick by Olden in front, no chance for Rubitz. And a good start for Norway. Back on the board.
I think with Mathis Olden, this started all the way back with
in
a
his
nice
own end.
move in his own end.
Below his own goal line, win a battle, make a play, pass it out of your own end. Don't just shoot it out of your own end. That's what the good teams do. That's how you generate rush chances, possession, and goals.
Collision at center ice as Hedel and Volkve Olsen collided. Back in for Andre Palat. Palat got rubbed out by Hauge. Hauge will play this in behind his own net for Norway. Spun around the boards, trying to work his way out of his own zone. Von Saxon. Short side try. Brana plays it back. Score. Jan Ruda.
Did Hedel get a piece of this? He celebrated like he did. Although Ruda looked like he shot it right in the empty net, but the celebration was odd by Philip Hedl. But another good response. They give up one early, come back a minute later, and restore the 4-goal lead. Nice work. Move in tight by Vrana. And Ruda sneaking down. Makes the shot. Good pull here. Look at the control by Vrana. Oh my goodness. Toe drag, how do you do? Yep.
Good pickup.
Well, I didn't see it hit his stick, but I did see the fist pump, which would be unusual in a 6-goal. And so that goal will go to Philip Hedl from Ruda and Vrana.
And just like that, it's back to a 4-goal lead for the Czech Republic.
It will be announced Ruta, but it will be changed to Hedl.
Up at center ice, Kubalik. And he'll get squeezed out. Norstabo back in his own end. Norstabo gets into a battle in the corner. Czech Republic getting some support there first. And kept it at the line by Radko Gudas. Andreas Martinsen will send this cross ice. And it ends up on the doorstep of Rubitz. And he'll leave it for Radko Gudas. Gudas will drop it off. Kolar will play it back for Gudas. Gudas will spinorama to try to get away from Martin Roymark. And Jaskin will deflect this in. Pile up in the corner. Cleared but not out. In from the line is Kolar, and a good save made. Cleared back out at center ice.
Welcome to the game, Henrik Holm.
Yes.
As you see what Auckland has been dealing with all night.
Plays for the Stavanger Oilers and has been there since 2011. And had pretty good numbers this season. Rister from the left side. This is grabbed and held, and we'll get another stoppage in play.
Philip Hedl, dynamic young centerman for the New York Rangers, will get credit for this. Drive in the net. As they make the correction right now, gets inside position on Haga. And Hedl's had a tough game physically. Took the big hit from Von Saxon in behind the net. He's been banged around a couple times. Rewarded for all his play around the puck with a goal.
Triple header tomorrow. Russia and Austria will start things off. Italy and Sweden, and then Latvia and Switzerland to wrap up the day. And then a couple of dandies on Monday. Russia and the Czech Republic.
Whoa.
Norway and Sweden.
The Russia, Czech Republic, the early game?
Yes.
Wow. 4 o'clock local, 10 a.m. Eastern.
Frolik will play that around. Ruda from the line sends it down low. 3 points in the game for Michael Frolik. 3 points in the game for Philip Kronik. Each with a couple of goals. Simone sends it back into his own zone. Moravchik will park in behind his own net. And then the Czech Republic will start up the ice with Hedl. Hedl trying to find Vrana. Palat tried to get that back to the line to Radko Gudas. Intercepted. Johansson for Volkve Olsen. That shot got stopped. Gudas knocked down in front of his own net, and Andre Palat for Hedl. Hedl finds a little bit of room around Trentons. Tried to get it to Vrana. The pass was in behind him. Stays with it. Back for Gudas. Gudas the shot, and Holm makes the save and hangs on to it.
Norway likes to pressure down on plays in the half wall with their wingers, which leave the defense wide open. It has plagued them an awful lot in this game. And Gudas put that last one into Hedl. That could have been converted for the 7th. Now, remember, the last 4 times Norway has played the Czechs, it was 7-0, 1-0, 7-0, 1-0. So we're not going to hold it quite true to form, but 7 would be the expected goal output for tonight's game for the Czech Republic.
Well, we'll see what happens. We're going to play the numbers. Slovakia and Finland, I think they just announced, are tied 2-2 now. That brought a reaction from the crowd here in Bratislava. Third period about to get going. Their shot, score! Well, there's 7. Kubalik on that offside, and you give him time and space, he will find the back of the net.
Already 5 points through 2 games for Dominic Kubalik. Another turnover at the blue line, doesn't get out. Kovacs drops it down, and that's a quick release. He's got the puck on his backhand, and watch how quickly he rolls over top of it, and then one touch, and zips it through the 5-hole for the finish. That's a goal scorer's goal. Not everyone could score 5-hole. A lot of times when average goal scorers shoot there, it just looks like you're working the pads in, and he finds the crack between the stick and the pad, and there's the 7th that they are expected to score.
57 points in 50 games in the Swiss League for Dominic Kubalik.
It's a massive year, the Swiss League.
Yep, it is a low-scoring league.
And I know there was lots of NHL teams sniffing around Dominic Kubalik, even as late as last year. Spent some time in the OHL, Sudbury and Kitchener. Drafted by the Kings in 13, 23 years old, so still young, but I'd like to go back for another year for a 25-goal in 50-game performance in the Swiss League.
Well, draft and develop is a great way to go, but every once in a while you have a hole in your roster or in your system that you're looking to fill, and free agency is sometimes very successful.
Entry-level contracts are any good team's friend.
Tied up in the corner and cleared up at center ice. Roymark for Thorson. Thorson jams this through the middle, way in behind the plate. Zahorna was all tied up there with Espeland.
With all this jumping around, it feels like the fans are going to pour out onto the ice. So cool.
Turned over in front, quick shot, that went wide. Norway trying to turn this back up the ice. Simone had a great chance, couldn't finish it. Now some contact with the netminder Hubitz, and that's gonna...
Gudis comes in to talk to Lassoon to turn upended Hubitz behind the net. And this is what happens in international hockey. You can't fight because you'll get the rest of this game. You'll get suspended for other games in the tournament. So Gudis doing his best to let him know he didn't like what just happened.
Well, the officials will sort it out. So will we when we come back.
Both teams minor penalty for roughing.
Lassoon and Radko Gudis to the penalty box, 2 each for roughing. Not much of a tap on the back of the netminder right there.
Maybe enough to throw his skates out from under him. Not worth a penalty, I don't think. No. But in a 7-2 game, Radko Gudis is always going to step in.
Roenick back into his own zone for the Czech Republic. Czech Republic had a 2-0 lead in the opening period. Norway on a power play cut it to 2-1, but that's as close as they would come. In across for Vrana, he ripped that wrister wide. Kolar was waiting for it at the left point, never did get to him. And Andreas Martinsen is on it for Norstabo. Norstabo will hit the line, drops for Andreas Martin, checked there by Hedel. And Hedel right back up the ice. Plays it on for Vrana. Vrana finds a little bit of room. Vrana with the quick wrister. And into the right-handed catching glove of the netminder Holm.
Vrana having visions of last night where he beat Henrik Lundqvist to the blocker side. But unfortunately for Vrana, Holm, it's his catching mitt, which is easier to get up there and take away. It's a good shot again. Nice snare by Holm.
Cleared back in behind the net. And as Moravchuk jumped in from the line to play it deep, Repik, who has a goal in this game, trying to lose the checking of Bon Saxon. Bon Saxon stays with him. Repik drops it off. It gets poked away. And Andre Palat will hustle back. Tight turn by Palat and feeds it back for Repik. Repik last played in the NHL with Florida. Johansson plays it around. Repik trying to get a stick on it, can't. Jan Ruda had fallen down against the far side boards and now will scamper to the bench on a line change. Christian Bull will swing it in. Bull looking for that return pass, gets it, but he's forced into the corner by Sklenichka. Mathis Olam is on the loose puck. Musil is trying to tie him up, and we're going to get a penalty. It's going to go to Musil for slashing.
Knocked the stick out of the hand as coach for the Czech Republic.
Here's what Milos Riha thought of the call.
He's still irritated about the lack of slash on his goaltender. And David Musil battling with Olam. He's very shifty, comes down over top, knocks the stick out of his hands. And it is a pretty consistent call. Regardless of how hard you happen to hit his stick, if you knock it out of his hand or if you break it, it's very likely a slashy penalty.
So another power play for Norway.
Get that stick cleaned up, dried off, which is the most important thing. Keep the tackiness to it so you can get the grip you need to win faceoffs and shoot the puck.
Mathis Olam, 33 years of age, has had a good night. Shot from the line, that never got through as Lidstrom, who does have a power play goal in this game, trying to wire that one. Tees another one up. Scramble, puck is loose. Good save there. And
that's a quick whistle though, because Rubitz didn't know where it was and his left pad was still in the air, even though the puck was underneath it. The referee lost sight of it and he was blocked out, but Olin was coming in with the potential to get a loose puck. Odos tees it up, but watch where it ends up. Now, Rubitz picks that pad up in the air. I can see it. I can see it. That's loose. And the whistle blows before Rubik drops down and seals it.
Mathis Olam was
he knows. He's like, hey,
close.
He can't be blowing that down. It's loose.
Elbows get up a little bit. Lidstrom faces off with Kovac. Kovac, probably the best face-off man for the Czech Republic. Wins that one, and it's cleared all the way down the ice. Polos swings it over on the left side. Sondre Olden drops it back. Mathis Olam carries it in. Andreas Martinsen after it. Martinsen gets bumped in the corner. Puck back at the line for Holos. Kovac on him. Lidstrom unloads. Save made. And then it gets away from Lidstrom, and Czech Republic shorthanded. They already have a shorthanded goal in this game. Moravchuk misfired on the first one, and then a couple of in-tight chances for Jaskin, and then Jaskin gets bowled over. Blast from the line got stopped. Olam inside the zone, lost control of it, and Kovac will get it back out for Jaskin, and he'll send it down the ice. And on his way to the bench, he'll give Mathis Olam a little cross-check. Tomáš Zohorna falls down all by himself. You wonder, with this being the third game in this building today, if the ice isn't maybe getting a little chippy. The game certainly is, and it is warm in this building, no doubt. The fans have been in here all day, and there's been plenty of them. And they've been loud, and they've had fun. Turned over, cleared down the ice by Zohorna. And Holm will leave it. And back up the ice for Espelin. Tried to flip it through. Power play is now over as Musil comes out. And this will get cleared down the ice by Michael Frolik. I don't think Frolik knew that the penalty had been over for a few seconds.
Another penalty coming up. Moravchik gonna pick up a hook.
So a power play when we come back. Moravchik to the penalty box, and Norway back to the power play. Kolos tried to drive that one through. Kubalik blocked it and sends it down the ice. Fifth power play of the night for Norway. They do have a power play goal. And they've given up a shorty to Michael Frolik. Cleared back in behind the net. Olden plays it back into the corner. And Norway will start up in the right direction, but it's turned over. Repik going in after it. And Holm will play it away from him. Another cross-ice pass. This one gets picked off. Polar will send it back down the ice. Or Yaskin, rather, with the intercept. Cleared up for Musil, on for Yaskin. Yaskin with a sharp angle try that sails around the boards, and Jan Ruda will wait for it at center. And Ruda will play it back for Holm, will stop it in behind his own net. Espelin will settle it down. Christensen drops it back. Thorson takes it through. Power play continues. 35 seconds of the man advantage. Shot from the line. That got turned away. Hauga sends it back at the blue line. Hauga unloads, and that hit a body in front and cleared down the ice by Musil. He may have blocked that shot. In a spot where it stung a little bit as he makes his way back to the bench.
It's a high riser by Hauga. I haven't seen him shoot the puck very often, but he got all of that one. And you're right, David Musil in the midsection arm area. Like that.
Christian Forsberg carries it in. Moravchik out of the penalty box. Czech Republic back to full strength. Reichenberg trying to work it off the backboards. Reichenberg on the forehand will throw it back down in behind the net. Roymark gets pinned to the backboards. And a scrum ensues. Sklenichka tying up Roymark. Has them all wrapped up. Reichenberg comes up with the loose puck. Being chased there by Zohorna. Came into the paint. And Rubitz with a decent stop and then spots that puck, and he will hang on to it.
It is just such a battle in front of the Czech net. Head coach Milos Riha gotta be pleased with what he's seen through the first 2 days of this tournament. Pretty convincing win against Sweden last night to open things up, and then 7-2 over Norway. Maybe a trap game, maybe a letdown kind of night, and they did not let that happen at all.
Over 9,000 in this building tonight, and that has been fairly consistent all day today, and both games last night sold out to start this championship. And the fans from the Czech Republic have been very impressed with what they have seen from their team, and they should be. The win over Sweden last night and a convincing victory over Norway here tonight. Hauge gets bumped into the corner boards by Michael Frolik. Frolik will send it around to Radko Gudas. Gudas, the long lead pass, trying to spring Voracek. Icing gets waved off as Voracek is first on it. Voracek protects it, tried to play it off that backside. And the pass got deflected. Roenick was creeping in from that right point. 2 in the game for Roenick and looking for 3. And now offside called at the line against Norway. Under 6 to go here in the third period. Czech Republic, under 6 to go, third period, as day 2 comes to an end here in Bratislava. Great hockey city. We talked about this in the last game. The Stasny's all from here. Yaroslav Halak, number of players from Bratislava. They love their hockey. And with so many countries around it, that's why we see the jerseys from all the teams that are represented here.
It's a great place to host this tournament. The proximity to all these different countries that are in the tournament. Czech Republic, of course, strongly represented. Vienna, Austria is about a 45-minute drive away from Bratislava.
Beautiful city on the Danube River. One of the longest rivers in Europe. 2-2 in the other game, Slovakia and Finland.
Great result so far for Slovakia.
They were impressive in their win against the United States yesterday. Bounces around in the high slot, grabbed off by Vrana. Vrana carries it, good play by Norstabo to stay with him. Matthias Norstabo with a good defensive play on the speedy Vrana. Race back here, and Hronek will get back there first. Hronek will play this ahead, ends up on the stick of Hedl. From Grubalik, Hedl, sharp angle, save made by Holm. Taken down in the corner as Repik got the stick into the skates of Von Saxon. Cleared up to center, no further. Oh, Jan Ruda just missed a check there from Lasund. As Lasund had him lined up. Olum starts up the ice for Norway. Has Thoresen with it. Tried to feed it through to the near side for Sondre Olden. It caroms off the skate, will be grabbed and held by Rubens.
You can tell how good Mattis Olum is, in that every time he's on the ice with the puck on his stick, everything seems to calm down. Norway's been running around their own end a little bit, but once Olum has a piece of it, it all just seems to make sense. Everything gets in the right spots, they make nice passes, and they unfortunately just need more players like him. As this role in playing for Skellefteå in Sweden, a really good league, good team. He played 1 year in London and Sarnia many years ago, the OHL.
Did, and then on to Germany and over the
bounced
American
around.
Hockey League for a while with Rockford. Hauga throws it cross ice, delayed offside. Gudis on it for the Czech Republic. As we near 4 minutes left here in period number 3, poked away from Gudis. Svanička will play this back into the Norway zone, and Johansson back for it. Johansson parks in behind the netminder Henrik Holm, who took over from Henrik Hockman to start this third period. Hockman played the first 5 periods of this tournament for Norway. There's a shot save made by Rubitz, as Rubitz makes his first start of this championship, as Patrick Bartoszak was in net last night for the win over Sweden.
Surprising, Norway still playing hard right to the edge. Neat little play, tip play in the neutral zone, generates some speed. And I'm not sure how you evaluate Rubitz's performance tonight. 24 shots against, 2 goals. Hasn't really been tested. And one of the goals that beat him, the first one from Lindstrom, was a tip by his own player, so not much chance on that. If you're thinking, okay, where do we go going forward? Bartoszak played the tougher opponent by far.
Czech Republic didn't give Sweden much last night. They have not given much to Norway in this game tonight, and that leads us to Monday. How will they fare against that powerhouse Russian team?
I think Bartoszak would get the start, though, based on what I've seen through 2 games.
Agree. Taken at center, sent in by Christensen. Reichenberg plays it back. Lidstrom plays it back. Creeping in from the line was Holos. Mishandled it, and then as he tried to get it back to Christian Bull, that misfired. And Michael Frolik will go after it. Voracek heads to the front of the net. Dominic Simone misplayed it briefly, and then he tried to slide that through for Musil. Voracek in behind the net. Played it to the front, it got blocked, and Andreas Martinsen is on it for Norway. Martinsen will leave it. Pass up the middle, off the stick of Lidstrom, got blocked and got nowhere. And Andreas Martinsen on it again as the jumping starts one more time, maybe one final time. They may do this for the final 2:20 of this third period. Musil back into his own zone. Flipped up at center ice. Kovac carries into the final 2 minutes. Kumalik tried to slide that across for Ripik. It was behind him. Kovac breaks this up off Norstabo. Kovac goes to the forehand. Save made by Holm. Looked as though Kovac wanted to try and stay on the backhand and then put the brakes on, went back to the forehand, but Henrik Holm wasn't buying what he was selling.
Now, Kovac in alone on the turnover. We call this one the bean pot in honor of Tony Amante, who apparently pulled it off when he was in college at the bean pot. You gotta sell the move going across the net, slam on the brakes, and ideally the goalie would drift out of the way, but Holm, you're right, never really got going laterally on Kovac. He stayed on that short post, and there's nowhere for Kovac to go with the puck.
Tomas Zahorna back out with Heinik Zahorna and Dmitry Yaskin. Yaskin got spilled off the drop. Lasun will play this out at center. And Heinik Zahorna in his first game did not play in the game last night against Sweden. And now offside is called as Yaskin jumped the line heading into the Norway zone.
Probably like we've seen out of this fourth line with the Zahornas and Yaskin. It's been a long day. We feel ya. But there'll be plenty to celebrate tonight for the fans of this Czech Republic team.
set him up and wind him up for the celebration.
Apparently, the hopping up and down is not bothering him.
Face-off win for Norway. Johansson in from the line. Got tied up in the corner. Hauga after it. Kronik is after him. Yaskins lost his helmet, so he has to head right to the Czech Republic bench. Hauga in behind the net. Kronik giving chase on the far side. Comes back to the line. Slap shot never made it through. And it's jammed out at center ice. Good play defensively there to get that out at center by Heineck Zahorna. Into the final minute of this one. Left wing pass, Kubalik. Kubalik in with a wrist shot. That one off the stick and over top the net. Cleared to the near side. And a reminder, 3 games tomorrow, starting with Russia and Austria, 12:15 local. Repik takes it all the way back in behind his own net. He may just park there. Norway may be totally fine with him parking there. As the final seconds will tick off on this one, Czech Republic will go to 2-0 with wins over Sweden and Norway. And Norway will fall to 0-2 with losses to Russia and to the Czech Republic as the final seconds of this one do tick off.
Czech Republic, true to form, defend hard, play hard, and they're showing more offensive punch than maybe we thought they had. Looking great through 2 games, unbeaten.
So Milos Riha and the Czech Republic pick up win number 2. They'll have the day off tomorrow. Get ready for Russia on Monday.
International, sponsor of the 2019 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship.
Dámy a páni, najlepší hráči oboch tímov budú odmenení Raiffeisen Bank International, sponzorom majstrovstiev sveta IIHF v ľadovom hokeji 2019.
The prizes will be presented by Mr. Tomáš Görtler, Executive Director of Raiffeisen Bank Czech Republic, and Mr. Jaromír Jágr.
Ceny budú odovzdávať pán Tomáš Görtler, výkonný riaditeľ Raiffeisen Bank pre Českú republiku, a Jaromír Jágr.
Best player, Team Norway, is number 6, Jonas Hollos. Best player, Team Czech Republic, is number 67,
Michal Frolík. Dámy a páni, prosím vstaňte. Zaznie hymna víťazného týmu. Zaznie hymna Českej republiky. Dámy a páni, šampionát pokračuje zajtra o 4:1 zápasom Rusko-Rakúsko. Telekom první večer v Bratislave a šťastný cestu domov.
You got some chance here for you. Obviously, 2 goals on the night, a shorthanded goal and a power play goal. Were specialty teams an emphasis for you in this game?
Yeah, I think obviously, special teams going to play a big role in this game, and we were happy that we capitalized that, and yeah, it was a good win for us. And teams like that, I think it's good that you score early, and I think we did that, and I think we kind of take control of the game after.
Your team especially has put up 2 very good games so far here. Does the team feel like they've got the proper group in that room to get things done at this World Championship?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good start for us, but I think you still have a lot of games in front of us, and you just want to keep building. I think keep getting better. We know that we still did some mistakes, and we want to work on it, and we just want to get better and better every game, and make sure we are ready when the times come.
What did it mean to get player of the game handed to you by Jaromir Jagr?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but obviously, I think it's not about personal stats and stuff, but it's nice that he was here and I can shake his hand, and obviously he was with me in Calgary for 1 year, so I know him a little bit, and yeah, it's definitely special.
Well, congratulations on the win.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Your team wanted. Where were the lapses?
Meaning a good team led into too many easy goals in the beginning there, so they get the groove on, and we came up short. You got to be stronger in front of the nets.
Two very hard teams that you've faced so far. Is this going to help you guys build moving forward?
Excuse me?
Two very difficult teams you've played so far. Is this going to help the team moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. We know that we're going to struggle against the first three teams. So that's how it is, but we keep looking forward and getting better and improve our team.
What will you take from this game moving forward?
Not that much, maybe our 2 goals.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Najlepší zážitky z hry vám prináša IIHF, oficiálny športový nápoj IIHF majstrovstiev sveta v ľadovom hokeji.
Thank you.